6 months ago, in the wake of Hurricane Helene, the Civil Warehouse became a critical supply hub, sorting, storing, and distributing aid to communities in need. What started as an emergency response to Hurricane Helene has now grown into something even bigger. Today, Mountain Corps Mission continues its work, not just for Helene survivors, but for those facing new disasters across the region. When historic floods devastated parts of West Virginia, this hub stepped up, sending truckloads of food, water, and essential supplies to families struggling to rebuild. Now, wildfires have been raging across the Carolinas, and the Civil Warehouse has delivered supplies to the firefighters battling the flames, ensuring that they had the support they needed on the front lines. What started as a local relief effort has grown into a mission that answers the call regionally, stretching across state lines, proving that when disaster strikes, help doesn't stop at the border. At the heart of Mountain Corps Mission is Chris Marengo, a familiar face you might recognize from my previous videos. We've crossed paths with Chris before, working hands-on in communities still fighting to recover.
And I'm admin and run logistics for Mountain Corps Mission. That's our nonprofit name. We gained our nonprofit status about 5 weeks ago, and started, and continue. It helps run our mission and keep us sustaining for the long term. So we're kind of shaping up and putting ourselves in position to be a long-term disaster relief organization, not only for our local area, but for the region as well.
This room changes all the time, so it's never the same. It's never the same, literally every few hours, like few days at least. These bays were each set aside originally, so like that was gonna be housewares and tools, and then that was gonna be cleaning supplies and that sort of thing. And then we got squashed with about 900 tons in like 5 or 6 weeks from an organization called Rise Against Hunger. And they're global. Part of their charter is they can't do food domestically. All their food has to go overseas. But they can do all kinds of other stuff, whether it be meds or child medications or Pedialyte. More stuff than I can list. So this is like where we set up food. So this is where we'll take food, assimilate it, and then build boxes that are ready to go. A box will feed a family of 3 or 4 for a couple days. So it's going to have ready-to-eat stuff, ingredients to make things if you need to. 8 or 10 rows here of formula. And then these are all going to be like OTC meds. So we've got a bunch of trucks right now going to Kentucky, going to West Virginia. We've sent 4 trucks to Cali already. I think we got 3 more going to California, maybe 4. And then we got a couple trucks this week going to Kentucky to alleviate some of the issues they've had there. We are painfully low on food right now.
Meals of Hope.
Yeah, they're out of Naples, right near where I'm from. I'm from Fort Myers Beach, so that's super close to where I'm from. So this is kind of how we set up our food boxes. Everything's kind of set out accordingly, and the box will come down just like an assembly line. So it'll start with a soup and some chilies and some MREs and fruits, veggies. We've got snacks. By the time it hits the end of the line, the boxes just get stacked up there. We had 3 pallets of them until Friday, and now I've literally got 2 prepared boxes. But if you look at some of these, this will tell you how we're doing right now. Like if that's any indication of what we're dealing with.
Running out.
We are painfully low.
So the main thing y'all needing right now is food.
Main thing. I mean, there's so many main things at this point, from toilet paper, things that early on we got buried in. The last 4 to 6 weeks, those donations have stopped. A lot of our local stores have been really good to us. And a lot of that slowed down just because we're not in the forefront of people's thoughts anymore. Like,
Right.
Sadly, we're not on the news. You know what I mean? South Carolina just made the news. They're on fire. So I don't predict it's going to be too long before we're shipping stuff there. A couple organizations we've been dealing really closely with, one's out of Canton, one's out of Waynesville. Operation Rising Sun and Warrior Clan have been really good about spending some of their donation money to help us feed people. Food isn't as much part of their charter. Warrior Clan is helping vets into campers and housing and that sort of thing. And Rising Sun has done everything from boots on the ground and search and rescue. We work really closely with them, but they've both been really generous as far as getting us a lot of food. It's been helpful the last couple few weeks. Even the paper products are starting to dry up, though. The paper plates, the paper towels, all that stuff. So everything's kind of slowing down a little bit.
Hi, Jeff. Hey. My name is Melissa. I got started by showing up and helping out and just offering to do what I could. And every day is a little different, which I'm grateful for. And it's been really neat to see the needs shift and change, from the get-go. Glad to see people's lives are improving in some ways, and definitely happy to help with the next go-round of needs, and that looks like some building and some tools and material gathering and working on getting some teams together to go out and help rebuild. And then also I have been going out to a couple different distribution sites and just kind of pitching in and, offering what I can, which gives really, really good perspective in terms of what we have here is so special, and this building is huge. The resources that we have are amazing, and the connections that we've built have been incredible. But not everybody has that, and especially other distribution sites. As we get further in and some start to kind of, die down and, just shifting needs again. So this is a big part of my heart. I like to help, so that's how I landed here.
How many families do you think y'all have helped so far?
So we have worked with over 85 to 90 different organizations and whom we kind of term lone wolves. So especially at the beginning, the first handful of months, there was a lot of individuals who were just making runs themselves. And so we've worked with 80 different organizations and lone wolves. Now, what those footprints kind of ripple out to is thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. On a weekly basis, we supply and aid anywhere from about 15 to 20 organizations. And some of those service up to about 1,000 or more people a week. And some generally they do about 100 to 150. So on a weekly basis, we're looking at about 6,000 to 8,000 people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we also have created a large, the lights go on and off. Okay. We've also created, a large network of other aid organizations that we partner with for kind of individual projects, helping families get into RVs and things along those lines with the aids, especially of our partners, Operation Rising Sun and Warrior Clan. They work more in that space, and we kind of just collaborate together. We can supply them with a lot of the supplies that can go into those RVs and hot tents and things along those lines, and they can help facilitate like the homes and things like that. So we also, not only do we supply with goods, but we try to supply with services as well where we can.
We got that?
Another shipment arrives, this time a FedEx truck packed with supplies. It's a routine they've mastered over the past 6 months. Supplies come in, and within hours, they are on their way to the communities that need them most. Every delivery is a reminder that the work isn't done, And every delivery and every helping hand makes a difference.
That's heavy. One of the organizations we partnered with is called Christian Appalachian Project. And they've sent us all kinds of stuff, and he did a $20,000 Lowe's order for us.
We're gonna get that other cart.
Oh yeah. This is all stuff for rebuild. Everything from muck out stuff like shovels and that sort of thing to nails and nail guns, batteries and speed squares.
Melissa, if you just want to leave it there, I'll sign it off on the receipt.
Box of nails for
No heavy.
Jules.
Appreciate the help, Jeff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hate to just stand around and film y'all the whole time, you know?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Keep it up. Put your back into it, Chris.
Y'all have a good one. Thanks, man. Good luck with the rest of yours.
Thank you.
I feel like the coverage that folks like you who have had the ability to, bird's eye view of the damage and destruction. I wasn't in a position where I could go out, and my car was in a terrible state, so I wasn't able to, drive an hour out to go help. And your perspective, the drone's perspective, was kind of one of the first times that I was able to really grasp like the devastation in this area. And I think it's really important that that continues to happen. I have family members across the US and they say, well, isn't everything fixed now? I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's far from it, far from it. And, so I think continually having eyes on the rebuilding processes and, certainly mitigating all the damage that's occurred, that's going to be so helpful in terms of people getting the kind of help that they need to rebuild their lives, and towns getting the kind of support that they need to rebuild their structures, and families getting support, getting food, getting supplies, building materials, all of the things. So, it doesn't, we're not fixed. We're not going to be fixed for a while. And we're definitely not fixed without support.
Another name you hear often in our videos is Operation Rising Sun. Tommy Miller and his team have been boots on the ground since day one, delivering campers, weatherizing them for the winter, and supplying essential resources.
I'm Tommy with Operation Rising Sun, the founder of Operation Rising Sun.
I'm Jerry Moore, co-founder of Operation Rising Sun.
How did y'all start up?
Well, it's the day of the hurricane. Basically what happened was we were all running around trying to figure out what was going on, and nobody knew. Day 2, day 3, I got a phone call from a friend of mine in Virginia, and he asked me if he can get me a plane worth of goods to come down. Could I get it to the people? And I said, absolutely. And one thing led to another. We started setting up supply runs, supply lines from Northern Virginia to Mills River, North Carolina, getting food to the folks here in Haywood County and the surrounding areas. That was how it all started right there, just like that.
Made the LZs to get the helicopters in. You did that.
Yeah, we did a lot right off the bat. It was just basically all that happened was we just kind of fell into all of it. We just started helping where we could, and next thing you know, we're doing all kinds of stuff. Like Jerry said, we're working with the Warrior Clan, landing helicopters in Bethel, bringing in supplies, and then doing helping out with search and rescues in Haywood County, helping out with other things in different counties. It basically just fell in our lap. And then one day I decided that we can do this all together. And we started the Operation Rising Sun, filed for our LLC, and now we're 501c3, still after it, doing things for everybody that's been affected through Hurricane Helene. We started getting campers around week 3. Our friend Scott Kelly from Ohio, we connected on the internet on Facebook through a couple of different connections, and the next thing you know, we started bringing in campers from, locally here in Haywood County, and now we're doing surrounding counties. So we've actually, I think we're on our 45th camper that we've donated to people. Yeah. When we donate the campers, we make sure that they're good to go. They're fully stocked, and the recipient or the beneficiary gets that camper fully stocked and ready to go. We even set them up. We did winterize them. They're hooked up when they get them.
Trying to give people a hand up in life, trying to get them a good start, And every camper we donate, we hand them the title. It's theirs.
Yeah, right off the bat.
There's no question of that. We just hand them the title and say, here you go. If we can help you, give us a call. After we can, and we do long-term help for the people.
Yeah, we just don't give them a camper and just roll out. We follow up with them, make sure they're doing the right thing for themselves. Give them, some motivation to keep on going and moving. And that's how that big one right there came back. We had a family that we started out with. Actually, that camper right there that you see, that's the very first one. Yeah. And about a week ago, they called us and said that they'd like to redonate it back to us, and they did. That camper helped them get on their feet. It helped them get their lives back together. It helped them save some money, and now they are living in an apartment. Their house got swallowed up by a landslide in Asheville, and now they're living in Clyde.
So it's really nice to see things like that come full circle.
Yeah.
People want to help. How do they go about
OperationRisingSun.org.
Yep. They can find us on Facebook too, Operation Rising Sun. We're attached to both of it as well.
And we appreciate all the help, and just share, and share everything we do, and it helps get the word out, and we can help more people, and you know how that goes. So.
Another integral part of disaster recovery here is Bula Baptist. Yeah, tell me about Bula Baptist.
Bula Baptist, we found about week 2 or 3, and we fell in love with everyone there. They are absolutely the salt of the earth. They're doing the Lord's work. We've been fortunate enough to be able to get coordinate supplies for them, and we've got a lot of friends, a lot of other nonprofits that's helping them stay supplied, and they're moving boxes of food to the needy, and supplies, heaters, propane, anything that the need sees, they find a way for us to either get it for them or other people do, and they're getting it out as soon as it comes in.
They do food, clothes, propane,
yep.
Everything. It's like we walk in there, it's like a Goodwill of the pantry.
Yeah, and they go through all the clothes, hang them up. I mean, it's not just thrown around. It's really well organized. Pastor Barry and his wife Anita are saints, ain't they?
Yeah, I think so myself.
They're good people. And
probably one of the biggest, strongest hubs they're not a hub, but it's a church. But they're, in my opinion, they're doing the most for their community now in Canton.
They are that.
Yeah, we try to keep them filled with as much stuff as they can.
Yeah.
So Friday we're actually doing I just sent the event out called Operation Spring Clean, and we're getting volunteers to go out there on Friday, starting at 8:30 in the morning to help reorganize, clean, and get them into shape so they can go into the springtime. without any hitches. So
Keep helping people.
yeah, they want to keep helping people.
They're top notch in my book.
Top notch in mine too.
Yep.
You stepped up to put her on her feet. It's just what you do when someone's in need. It was you who was there when I couldn't be, doing some good, standing strong, plowing through, keeping on. We give all we got, even though it ain't much. We show what we're worth until it hurts, and fight for what we love. We're doing right, it's just understood. We're doing some good.
No rain in weeks, wind was keeping up. Couldn't grow nothing with the ground so tough. People share what they had, 'cause that's what we do. That handful of seed we got us through. 'Cause when the rains finally came, we all knew. Doing some good, standing strong, plowing through, keeping on. We give all we got, even though it ain't much. We show what we're worth until it hurts, and fight for what we love. We're doing right, it's just understood. We're doing some good.
Until we die, we live our lives just like the way we should.
Doing some good, standing strong, plowing through, keeping on.
We give all we got, even though it ain't much. We show